How's it going, everyone? Daniel here. It's time to review Smackdown Live for August 30th, 2016. Now, the main event tonight was Baron Corbin versus Dean Ambrose. And, of course, AJ Styles was out on the side and the commentary and stuff. Smackdown, jeez. Tonight was just... Don't get me wrong, there were a few good moments. There's some enjoyable moments in there, don't get me wrong. But... damn, I gotta say, I'm enjoying Raw more. Raw was okay, good yesterday. It was just good. It wasn't great, it wasn't amazing, but this SmackDown today, I'm the milkman. Kill me now. What? And in the beginning, Shane McMahon. Well, Brian, I think you owe him an apology. We're going to get into this right now. Thanks for joining. Okay. A lot of obsolete things are going down tonight, so a lot of delete. Here we go. Let's see what I think. We're going to recap all the matches, the segments, and I'm gonna rate it out of a 5. I have out of a 5 scale rating. 1 is shit. It is bad. 1 is bad. 2 is okay. 3 is good. 4 is great, and 5 is awesome. Let's do it. So in the beginning, we have The Miz come out, and he's ranting about a bunch of things, Daniel Bryan from last week and all that. Long story short, Dolph Ziggler comes out, and I was expecting Daniel Bryan to come out, but hey, Dolph Ziggler, I guess they're going to try to start a feud, and I like Dolph Ziggler, man. I like The Miz, man. Now, I don't like The Miz as much as I like Dolph Ziggler, man, but goddamn, Ziggler is very underused. Like, he was put in some major matches, and then he always loses. I feel bad for Ziggler. He's put a lot, him and Miz have put a lot into this company, so. Anyway, Ziggler comes out, and he does his whole thing like, well, Miz, show us that you're not a coward. Fight me, right here, right now, no referees, and all that stuff. And The Miz is like, walks out of the ring. He takes off his jacket, and I'm like, Jesus, I've been watching wrestling for a long time. I've been watching since 2005. And even, I'm pretty sure back in the 90s and 80s, that same shit happened where they go outside of the ring and then they go back on the ropes and then everyone's clapping and then he jumps back off the ring and everyone's like, boo. It's been done a million times. What are you doing? Why do you keep on rehashing the same shit over and over? I've seen it a million times. This is the reason why I stopped watching wrestling. So nothing happens. The Miz ends up going to the back, and not during the night. We never hear nothing about Dolph Ziggler, or we didn't hear nothing about The Miz either. So that was a pretty, lackluster opening. For the first match of the night, we had the Hype Bros versus the VOD Villains. And usually, I don't like the VOD Villains, honestly, but, since they don't have that long opening where they're like, ha yeah, so they don't have that opening anymore. It's kind of like they walk out and, they do their whole facial reaction and shit. The VOD Villains weren't bad, actually, tonight. I was kind of like, oh, the Hype Bros? I like Zack Ryder. I don't like the other guy. I don't know. He looks like he's a man-child, guy who, I don't know. I don't honestly know what to say. He overacts his cell too much, overacting too much. The hype, don't be a hater, but come on. He overacts too much, and I'm like, damn it, Zack Ryder's stuck in, like, WWE put him in the corner over here doing a stupid gig when he should just be being Zack Ryder himself. So, the VOD Villains end up losing, of course, but the thing is, it was actually a really good match. They had some good hits in there. There was nothing really wrong with the match. The match was too short, honestly, and usually I would say, it was a boring match, or it was an okay match. It went on a little too long. Well, actually, I would have loved to have seen, maybe another 3 minutes or 4 minutes with them, because the VOD Villains actually did some entertaining things in the match, as well as Zack Ryder and what's his name, Mojo or something. The Hype Bros, they did a few fun things, and then I think the VOD Villains really impressed me tonight, where I may give the VOD Villains a chance. Sadly, they keep on losing, so they don't get to I don't know what they're doing with the tag team championship belts as of right now, but I think the Hype Bros are the contenders. They moved on, and the VOD Villains are not moving on now. they failed at that. But overall for this match, a 3 out of a 5. After that, we had the phenomenal one, AJ Styles versus Apollo Creed. JK, give me a hell yeah. Apollo Crews. Yeah, it does. He gets pissed off when people say Creed, but hey, man, it's not my fault you picked a stage name like that. So anyway, that's going on, and honestly, I like Apollo Crews. I mean, I haven't seen him in quite. I don't know if it's been a week, 2, but I don't know if it's been a while. I mean, AJ Styles versus Apollo Crews is interesting, and I don't know, man. Apollo Crews ended up losing the match, and I was kind of pissed off with that because, again, Apollo Crews, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he has muscle. He's built, he's not a small guy. It's not AJ Styles versus Jamie Noble or something like that. Why Apollo Crews gets hit with the AJ Styles punch, I forgot what it's called, but the punch that he does, and oh my god, come on, Crews, you're out with that. Like, you're a big guy, that punch, and then you're out. Come on, dude. You're masculine. You have more power than that. You easily could have kicked out of that at a 2 count and then kicked some more ass. Overall, I thought Crews was great in the match. I'm kind of tired of seeing AJ Styles always winning. I've seen AJ Styles fight better, of course. I mean, this was an alright match for him, but I'm kind of sad that Crews ended up losing because it's like, give him something, man. He's like Titus O'Neil and Darren Young. It's either they lose every week or it's barely a rare chance if they ever win, and I'm kind of like, give him something, dude. Give Apollo Crews a feud that he could work with. Either way, for this match, again, I thought it was a good match. It wasn't a bad match or anything, just 3 out of 5. Next up, we have the most cringiest segment that has ever happened in WWE for 2016 thus far. A Slater Gator, Heath Slater, the one-man band. We have him and Rhino and Heath Slater's wife. Renee Young visits their house, and God, it was pretty. It was pretty bad. And then Rhino's eating crackers with cheese, and I mean, well, I mean, don't get me wrong, there were a few funny scenes with it, but it was really like the girl just burped out of nowhere, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this? You guys only have 2 hours of showtime. You're not Raw. You don't have 3 hours of showtime. I advise you put on a wrestling match for the people and not this dumb segment. This segment didn't really lead up. Oh, Rhino and Heath Slater are a team and everything. Renee Young was so uncomfortable. I'm pretty sure. I know she's acting, but it looks like she's really believable. She's really damn uncomfortable. I'd be uncomfortable if I was directing that little segment there. That was pretty bad. But man, I'm gonna do all of you a favor for that and just delete. Next up, we had another pretty boring segment where Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. Now, I'm interested to see them fight, but I believe they're going to be fighting at Backlash. Now, that's exciting. That's interesting. Okay, I got you there. But, Bray Wyatt comes out, and he does his little improv. Oh, Randy, I'm going to cut the head off the snake and everything. And then Randy Orton comes out, and he's like, Bray, about these scars, it's just 10 staples. I've been damaged before. He kind of recaps his career like, I've been damaged before. And then all of a sudden, just like last week, Bray Wyatt escapes. Poor Bray Wyatt, the lights go off. He has to go run under the ring and everything, and you know what I mean? So, it's another wasted segment where just fight or do something. I mean, the wrestlers travel all this way to another place just to do a minute thing. I mean, it doesn't make much sense just to do that. Honestly, it wasn't a horrible segment. What Randy Orton said was pretty good, and also Bray Wyatt with his improv, because I heard he does his improvisation, that it comes all from him. He's really good at that, man. He's the best at doing that. So it wasn't a horrible segment, but it was just another kind of dragged out, wasted time where, come on, just get Orton and have Randy Orton do something. Look, he'll face, Wyatt, Bray Wyatt. He'll fight him at Backlash. Just have Randy Orton fight somebody else for now. And the way Bray do, the Wyatt, have him do something too, and then they fight at Backlash. It's simple like that. Next was Alexa Bliss and Natalya versus Naomi and Becky Lynch. Yes. sucks. It's a tag team match, and Nikki Bella, she was on the side, and she was in the commentary. This match was okay, honestly. I've seen Becky Lynch do better, I've seen Naomi do better, I've seen all of them do better, honestly. It wasn't the best of the the night or anything. It was kind of a little slow, and when I'm trying to think about it, it is forgettable. Carmella ended up hitting Nikki Bella, which I did not see that coming, honestly. Of course, they're creating this feud here. I'm assuming Bella's gonna win, no hate against Carmella. All of you are beautiful. You guys are doing the Backlash. The 6 of them are going to be fighting for the Women's Championship. Awesome, that's cool. But I can't wait for Backlash for that. But Carmella and them are just having this feud there. Becky Lynch, she went wild and everything where she does her thing. Oh, yeah! And she screams out and the crowd gets wild. That was great, of course. Alexa Bliss, I feel like she's one of those two, like Apollo Crews and all that, where they're just underrated. They either lose all the time, just like Dana Brooks and Raw. They just show up, and then they lose, and then they lose, and then they lose, and then they get a win. Oh, and then they lose. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where they're underused or they're misused, where it's like, no wonder they'd leave to go to TNA, or they'd leave in the near future to go somewhere else because they're being mistreated. They're not given the fair chance. And I'm just saying, Natalya, I don't remember much. I don't remember if she was going for the sharpshooter and all that, because usually she goes for it like 10,000 fucking times all the time. But for this match, it honestly, who won? I believe it was, Alexa Bliss and Natalya won. That's the thing, because then Nikki Bella and Carmella came, and then it all ruined that, and then they got distracted, and then Natalya and Alexa Bliss win. It was disappointing. It's like every single week somebody has to interfere. Every single damn week somebody has to interfere. There used to be times in wrestling where it was like a month later someone interfered. It wasn't every single damn week. It's the same rehashed storyline. So for this match, a 2 out of 5. After that, we have the Headbangers versus Heath Slater and Rhino. The Headbangers, of course, haven't been in WWE for 16 years. That was the last time they were in WWE. So they come back and everything, and the crowd is just totally dead. I'm not blaming the crowd or anything, because I'm pretty sure there are people that know them, of course. They were a tag team, I'll be honest, I've been a wrestling fan since 2005, and I've played even the wrestling games before 2005, like 2002, 2003, Here Comes the Pain. I've, played a bunch of different things before then. Never heard of the Headbangers. Maybe they're just not memorable. They look very forgettable for one thing. So, they're a joke. Maybe they were good back in their day, but it sucks. If they're a weekly, if they came back to actually do weekly events, I hope they get used something. I hope they get used right. But yeah, they make their comeback or a special appearance, whatever they were doing, and then they lose. And the bad thing about it is it's pretty bad. It was okay. It was an okay match, but Heath Slater, it's forgettable. Heath Slater, I don't even remember what he did. I think he was getting his ass kicked or something, or they were doing something like that. And then Rhino doesn't even enter the match until the last 25 seconds of the match, and he's bleeding. I know he fell off the ring and all that, but wow, I think the guy hit him with his elbow. He ain't no damn Brock Lesnar where you get hit one time in the elbow and you start bleeding that much. He was bleeding a lot. I'm like, really? Really? What? And then they win, and Rhino and Heath Slater win. I don't care whether the Headbangers would have won or Heath Slater or Gator Slater and all that. I just thought it was a disappointing end, and it was a disappointing thing, and every time I see Rhino, I feel like he's just gonna betray Heath Slater for some reason and then just cause this feud. But overall, for this match, a 2 out of 5. And before I get to the main event, the Milkman has arrived to the WWE. I actually don't know if he's going to be a weekly thing on Smackdown. I really hope he is, honestly. But if he actually wrestles. So the Milkman came out, this guy called the Milkman, and I'm the Milkman and everything, and I'm local here, whatever. And the people in the WWE, they don't want to fight me or whatever and shit like that. And then he starts taking off his clothes. I mean, down to his underwear. I was thinking to myself, is this guy, like, is he going to take it the extra mile and get naked on TV and then, like, they'll have to shut it off? Like, I was literally thinking when I saw his underwear, I was like, oh shit, I think he's going past what he's supposed to do for some reason. But it was all part of the show. And then Kane comes out, instantly chokeslam, and then Kane leaves. It's like, I traveled all this way to do that. Yay, get my paycheck and everything. My $50 for doing that, It was a pretty horrible segment. It was because there was no reason. There was no point. What the fuck? What? Who's the milkman? And also, why? What? Why? Get your shit together, SmackDown. Seriously, get it together. What do you... Was that for kids to laugh? Oh, look, Daddy, a grown man. Yes, what's that thing in his underwear? What is that thing? The bulge or whatever. I mean, basically pointing out the bulge. What? He needs some milk. I mean, come on, Holmes. So for all of our, sake, delete. Now on to our main event. We have Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin. AJ Styles is, of course, on the side being the commentator. This match was disappointing. Honestly, the Raw's main event was better. And listen, I'm not I just enjoy Raw for right now. I enjoyed SmackDown when I was a kid. I enjoyed Raw when I was a kid. It never used to be who's better. Now that they're doing this whole brand extension thing and all that, it's like who's better, But honestly, I was always more of a Raw person, but I've always enjoyed SmackDown as well. But yeah, Baron Corbin, I don't enjoy seeing him for one thing, but he had a few good moves. Don't get me wrong, he did kind of hurt Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose was getting his ass kicked a lot during the match, and then Ambrose kind of picked it up. And then all of a sudden, AJ Styles gets into the match, and the match is over. Disqualification. I cannot tell you. WWE has probably used, has used this where somebody interferes and it's disqualification 7 or 8 times during the past month of August. They've used it so much. Ding, 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 ding. Disqualification, interruption. It's really, dude? All because he hit Baron Corbin or whatever, it's a disqualification. Thanks for ruining the night, referee, because you have to play by your rules. It was stupid. The match is over, but what was better was when AJ Styles tried to attack Dean Ambrose, he ended up hitting his nudies. So he hit his nudies and his nuts, his family jewels, his inbred hick nuts. And Dean Ambrose was talking to him. For one thing, I know what it's like to get hit by the balls. I think every guy in the world, if you don't know what it is, don't punch yourself in it, but you may want to just to have that feeling. And I've never been hit on the balls with a rope and like that. But usually when people get hit, such people in the past as Chris Jericho and shit, when they get hit when their balls and stuff, they usually don't wait 2 minutes what was AJ Styles doing? You're the phenomenal one. Yes, it hurts, but no one has ever lasted in that position for 2 minutes. If you want it to stop hurting, get up and move. I don't understand why he just stood there for such a damn long time. And the perfect opportunity for Dean Ambrose to push him off. That would have been a perfect opportunity to do that. But it still was funny. Dean Ambrose ends up leaving. I thought he was actually calling for the mic or something, but he got his championship belt. So nobody wins the match. Corbin didn't win, nor Ambrose. I'm pretty sure next week we're going to have Dean Ambrose versus Corbin again, maybe. I guess kind of to, Backlash will be that Sunday where it'll be AJ Styles versus Dean. But for the match itself, a 2 out of a 5. It was okay. Don't get me wrong, it is forgettable too. A lot of these matches tonight were pretty forgettable. But I enjoyed the main event on Raw a lot more. Now, before I give you my final score for this week's SmackDown, I want to give you my pros and cons. So, starting off with the pros, I do have to say, again, like I said a few seconds ago, Dean Ambrose messing with AJ Styles on that ring and on the rope and everything, that was hilarious. Everybody was laughing in the crowd. I was laughing. Dean Ambrose has still got it. He's super funny. Even though Apollo Crews lost, I still really enjoyed his match against AJ Styles. I mean, he did try, and he's a likable guy, man. When he's coming out and everything, he wants the crowd to feel it. I'm not sure if the crowd was all for it. I mean, some people were. I'm not sure if the whole single crowd was. Like, if everyone was screaming out loud, if it was John Cena or some shit like that. But Apollo Crews did a really good job tonight. Also, Naomi's butt. Now for the cons. I didn't enjoy the Miz and Dolph stuff because it didn't lead up to anything. And I like Dolph Ziggler's enthusiasm. He's like, come on, Miz. If you want to, fight me, fight me. And the Miz did awesome, too. Don't get me wrong. He has awesome mic skills. He's actually not a bad actor. He's not an Oscar award-winning actor. But, I mean, he proves to himself that he is good for the acting in the WWE. But still, it didn't lead up to anything. The Miz leaves and he disappoints. The Milkman. The Headbangers returning to the WWE just to lose on their first match back. The Heath Slater and his wife segment. Even though there were a few fun moments and good matches in tonight's... Even though there was a few fun moments and some good matches on Smackdown tonight, it still was very disappointing. And honestly, from the opening and then the Milkman segment and the disqualification... And just all these storylines that they're weaving, Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt wasting time. It's, build up and build up just for a week to the next week to the storyline, just continuing all that. There's a bunch of WTF moments tonight. Was Raw amazing yesterday? No, it wasn't. I thought it was just good. Was this amazing tonight? No, it wasn't. I thought it was just okay. So overall, I'm giving SmackDown Live, August 30th, 2016, a 2.3. out of a 5. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. Comment down below. Tell me what you guys thought about SmackDown Live. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are you ready for Backlash? And I mean, that's the sixth diva match, whatever I call it, man. The 6 of them in the match. God damn it, Naomi. Yes. Becky Lynch. Yes. Nikki Bella. Yes. Natalia. Alexa Bliss. Yes. I'm ready. And Orton and Wyatt, you damn better make sure it's worth it wasting my time with all these segments. Thanks again for watching. Share this with your friends. Hit that subscribe button for more. I'll see you next week for more Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. Bye-bye.